Don't make the same drastic mistake Robert did.
So you don't want to try too hard to impress in a way where you're going to threaten them. Now, if you're in another job, you're older, you're in your 20s, your late 20s, your 30s, and you have a boss, and they're incompetent, they're stupid, right? And that happens a lot. I've worked for people like that before. There comes a point where you might think it's wise to impress the other people in the company. You know, it's a game, it's like a chess game, because the boss probably has other bosses and there are other people involved. And you may want to show that this person is incompetent, that you're better than they are, and that you deserve a higher position than what you have. But in general, I think it's much better and smarter to play it cool, to wait for the opportunities when they come, and to be patient. So a lot of young people, and I was guilty of this when I was young, are very impatient. They want to get to the top quickly. They want to start making a lot of money. And the goal here is not to get a raise right away, to make a lot of money, to get promoted. The job is to learn skills, to observe how people are, to observe the power game, and to master it early and slowly by observing what's going on around you and not being in a hurry to impress people. So that's how I would navigate that.
Has there ever been a time in your career where you've kind of made the choice, it is Robert's time to outshine the master or betray?
Well, honestly, I've never had a job in my whole life for more than 11 months. I've had like over 50, 60 different jobs, which doesn't say good things about me. I'm very restless. I don't get along so often with people in these situations. But I can remember I had a job in the 90s for a television show. I won't mention the name because it's rather embarrassing to me, which television show this was. And I was a researcher on the show, which basically meant my job was to find stories that they would then go out and film. It was kind of like a reality television show, right? And there was a team of researchers there. But I was by far the best researcher there. I've been doing research for many, many years. I have definite skills in that. I'm not good at a lot of things, but that's one thing I'm good at. And I'd say of the team of 8 people, 80% of the stories I had found, which was a pretty high success rate. And then one day, the boss, this woman, she kind of chewed me out in a meeting. Like, Robert, you've got an attitude. You're not paying attention. This is very important that you listen to what's going on in this meeting. And it was a very boring meeting. And in my head, I'm going, what the hell does this matter whether I'm listening to your stupid meeting when I'm getting 80% of the stories here, right? Isn't that more important than pretending to listen so closely to your dumb meeting? Well, several months later, I was fired. And I was fired basically because of that kind of attitude, even though the results were there. So I violated the very law that I'm telling you about right now. But at that time, I didn't care because I hated that job. So they fired me and I was fine with that. I went on to my next job. That's not a good attitude for a lot of people in this day and age. I wouldn't advocate that you feel that way. But sometimes you get this idea, you enter the work world kind of naive, and you think that what matters is getting results, doing a good job. You know, if you're the one getting the results more than other people in the company, you should be promoted. That's a great thing. But it doesn't work that way. It's political. I wasn't being political with this woman. I wasn't impressing her. I wasn't brown-nosing with her. I wasn't telling her how great she was, how wonderful her meetings were, right? I was just doing my job, and I got fired. So you've got to be aware that people are playing political games. Whenever 3 people get together, this is something I say often, whenever 3 people are together in a group, there's politics, there's ego, there's battling. Who's the best? Who's better than this person? Constantly comparing. You have to be aware of that constantly and not be so naive.
I guess I would think of instances like, how could you have gone about that? Imagine you were doing 100% of the stories, you were doing all the work.
Yeah.
Would you just kind of naturally wait for someone to have promoted you?
Well, no, it's a very good question. What I should have done was I should have not had the attitude. I should have done my job and listened in the meetings and played the political game and say, yes, Ms. Weinstock, her name, yes, you're great. I'm really grateful for this job. I would have been able to keep the job and I would have been promoted. But the problem was I hated the job. I hated the politic. I've hated it my whole life. So I probably unconsciously wanted to be fired. But if you're in a position like I was and you don't want to be fired, you do the job, you get the results, but you also play the political game, and then you're in a very secure position. So I was kind of stupid, I think.
That's literally how Robert got his first law in, the 48 Laws of Power, Never Outshine the Master. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to like and follow, or if you're on YouTube, subscribe.